bing, 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 bing. Something in the ground that's going to keep this soil from washing. I've got blueberries all the way up and down here, and these are rabbit eyes they produce. We get buckets off of them every year. We have all of this to work with all the way down to the fence. So where I figured we would just start is kind of at the fence and just start coming up the hill. This berm here catches water coming down and puts it in the pond also. Unlike usually, I'm not going to do it and then tell you, hey, what should I do? You're actually here to tell us what to do before we have to undo a bunch of shit this time. So what do we do?
I'm weighing the options between optimal growth versus optimal maintenance. What's going to be the easiest thing to maintain? What's going to be the least pain in the butt?
So we normally come through here at 60 miles an hour on a razor. We don't really anymore. That's why we're gonna use this hill now.
How about I tell you the options?
Yeah.
And tell you what you're dealing with. So, optimally, you'd be running these along the contour.
Yep.
Okay, so that contour line's going this way. So we bring some rows like this, and then these rows would start curving, and they kind of curve like that, and then we'd have another one coming this way. I need enough room for access.
Okay.
About 8-9 feet in between your blueberries and the start of your row.
Okay.
And you shoot them like this.
All right. So multiple rows.
Multiple rows.
Like corn rows.
Like
okay.
Right? Yeah, just like that. 9 feet
on
apart.
angle.
Yep.
Yep.
On an angle. It's okay if it doesn't stay perfectly on contour. Don't worry about that. But the closer.
No, that's not okay because it has to look perfect from a drone.
It will look beautiful from a drone.
Okay.
But what I'm saying, just from a functional physics standpoint,
okay.
It does not have to. You don't have to get out here with the laser.
Understood.
level.
Understood.
I would just set your main line, and then you'll be a little bit farther apart over here, and it'll get a little bit tighter. The back side needs to be 8 foot, and then it can get a little bit wider.
Almost like we're funneling sunlight between them.
Right.
Okay.
And then you'll get some really good solar gain because your sun's doing this number. So that'll pick up a lot of good sun that way. I think that would be optimal.
Okay. So put our rows, these rows 8 feet apart.
Yep.
And then we plant every plant 6 inches apart.
All the way. Yep. All the way down. So they're 6 inches apart on center, and then the rows are 9 feet apart.
Understood. Okay.
And then I just stair strip that all the way down. The other option, which would be a lot easier to maintain, would leave access a lot better, would impede foot traffic a lot more this direction. So you're gonna have to make your own determinations on what is most important to you.
All right.
You could just go straight in line with this blueberry line and just put the rows wherever they fall.
Okay.
It's gonna get really thick. I can show you pictures of what these look like. It is thick, thick, thick.
Like hedgerows.
It's hedgerows of just raw thick enough. And it's so thick that you're fighting to get through it and tripping over stuff, and there's branches grabbing your feet, tripping you as you're kind of pushing your way through it. It'd be really tight. The negative to that is they're gonna get 8-9 feet tall, and they're gonna shade out the next one because that's where our sun's coming.
That's what I thought you were thinking when I said we're gonna put them this way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the nice thing about that though is you got one straight run. You just start on one end in the winter. After everything goes dormant, everything falls down, and you're not trying to propagate anything, you're just maintaining it. Crank the tractor up, flip on the brush hog, and you just mow one row down there, turn around, come back and mow the next row. Turn around, go back and mow the next one until you're done. Okay. So maintenance, that would be fastest and easiest. Secure from a security aspect, that might give you just a little bit more of an advantage from egress from the roadway.
So we have triple wire, we have razor wire, we have enough razor wire to cover everything that's not fenced.
Cool.
So maybe we'll try both and just see which one we hate the most 2 years later. Do we plant willow, mulberry?
That's what I would do.
Separate?
Yes.
Okay.
I would not mix them all together because what's going to happen is the willow is going to be able to be harvested a little bit faster and quicker.
Do we want
the mulberry?
Which one? Whole row of willow, whole row of poplar, or all the willow, all the poplar, and does it matter?
I would just mix them up.
Okay.
I would alternate it. Willow, poplar, mulberry, willow, poplar, mulberry.
My thought was which one grows faster is going to shade out. Like, does it matter which one?
It's not going to matter because you're going to get morning sun, noon sun, afternoon sun.
Plus, we're going to cut the shit out of these
Plus,
things.
you're going to be cutting them. If you want it to look consistent and the same, then you go hybrid poplar, hybrid willow, and then white mulberry. Hybrid poplar, hybrid willow.
Okay.
Now, do you have equal numbers of all three of those trees?
No, you said I bought like
Bought
25,
a whole bunch.
25, and 300.
Awesome. So put all of the white mulberry on the top, and then do all of your hybrid willow, and then do all of your hybrid poplar.
Okay.
That's what I do.
Okay.
Because the white mulberry is your premium stuff.
And I know the willow just fucking reproduces. Like we
and
can
the
just.
willow, yeah. The hybrid poplar will grow the fastest.
Okay.
The willow will grow tallest in one single growing year. The willow will grow second, and then
So the poplar will be on the bottom, so it can still catch
it'll
sunlight
get-
when
yep,
this other's
it'll
blocking
get
it.
taller.
Okay.
The willow will get second tallest,
Okay.
and then the white mulberry will be
Right
the
on.
shortest.
Now, how do I plant it?
So where me, I go and I put yourself a little bit of a berm on contour, as close to contour as you can.
Okay.
So kind of like this is,
Okay.
like a water bar, shoot it over there, and then you plant just right into that.
On the berm or?
Right on the berm.
Okay. All right.
The poplar and willow you could plant in the little ditch of the berm.
Because it'll suck the water.
They will grow right at the water's
Yeah.
edge.
Okay. And we just jam a screwdriver in there, 6 inches, 2 inches, what? Just
6 inches.
however long the tap is.
Yep. If you've, I've actually got a little auger bit I can show you.
Yeah.
Get on Amazon. There's a tulip bulb planting auger.
I've got the screw in I got the drill thing.
Yep. It sticks on your drill and you just
Okay.
jab it in there.
So we'll cut these relatively quick. We'll get the berms in place then, so we're ready to plant as soon as they show up. So the dirt's already hardened up a little bit.
Yep.
Do we need to test like soil, or I mean, we're not doing shit. I mean, there's not really any improving this right now.
There's not a tremendous amount you can do to improve it right this minute.
Like come look at
But
this.
if you get mulch on it, that'll help tremendously.
Like there's slate under all this ground,
Yeah.
like this. So when we put all these in,
Yep.
we dug about 2 of them with a shovel, and after a day's worth of digging, we brought a mini excavator in and kind of like just scraped a bucket out and just kind of planted it. These blueberries don't do shit here. These blueberries do awesome. Why? I thought they love pine needles.
They're getting the sun.
More sun. So this is what's under the ground here.
Yep. They're getting the sun, and they probably have deeper soil over there. They probably had less competition from the trees.
You know what
Trees
else?
are
You
probably
know what else?
sucking up
We wood chipped these like 3 years in a
and
row.
you mulched them.
Yeah, we mulched the shit out of them. We've never watered them. I was just watching a thing from a guy that's some famous blueberry guy, and he's like, when it's dry, you need to water. Like, you gotta water while it's making fruit, and it'll make way more fruit. He also said nobody uses rabbit eye blueberries anymore. Like, I thought I had some cool shit, and but he's like, yeah, nobody productive, nobody doing, you know, garden, like for market, nobody's growing rabbit eye blueberries. But we have 7.
I think they're fantastic.
Yeah, they call them rabbit eyes because they're the size of your thumb. They look like a rabbit eyeball. They get big, and we've got they're named after like Climax and Ecstasy, and they're all names like that.
The more mulch, the better, honestly.
Okay.
As long as you're not burying the base of the tree.
Yeah, we
got
usually
8
come
inches.
back to the dew line typically. We spread it back.
Yeah. So what I'll say is, imagine this is your tree. Here's your roots coming out. In these bare root trees, there's just going to be a little tiny swelling, and you're going to start seeing some roots popping out. That's this area. I've got a picture up on Rare Plant Store.
Okay.
If you want to see like lines and saying this is the root crown area, this is the root zone, this is the trunk.
I think I've seen it. I looked
Yeah.
at it. Yeah.
But
I had to check you out, make sure you were legit.
Right. Good. You want to bury it.
That's
to
not
the root
that's not real.
Bury it to the root crown, and then you want to bring mulch all the way up, just like a couple inches away from it.
Okay.
You don't want to bury this, because if this gets buried, even in mulch, it'll kill the tree.
Yeah.
But as long as this is covered in mulch, I mean, it can come up just at whatever angle that the mulch is going to sit and not collapse down in. You can come out to a foot thick mulch.
Okay.
You can do a foot thick mulch around these trees.
That's what we do.
These
They're like 12
berry bushes?
inches, yeah. We're super good at killing trees.
amazing.
We've killed lots of trees.
Me too.
How tall is your mound? Your planting mound?
Just 4 inches. Doesn't need to be much.
You could just do it with a single blade on
Just
like
to
a
make
hook
it
on a
catch a
box
little bit
blade or
more.
whatever.
If it is, you know, if you can do it, dead level on contour. You get a laser level out here and just mark out, and you'll give you a tone. I got my laser level. I could actually mark some stuff out for you.
I've got a laser level.
And it'll give you a solid tone. Boom, boom, boom. Put it dead level on contour. If the ends are a little bit rounded up, you pump some water out.
Yeah.
You just drop the hose in on one end, and it'll just flood irrigate the whole thing.
Yeah.
So you irrigate one. If it's gonna spill down to the next one, you could just fill one and just let it cascade down the hill.
We pumped water from there into here to fill that, and we pumped it from here. There's another one up top to fill that
Saw
one.
that one up there.
Yeah.
That's I like doing it that way, so I have as much stupid tech built into the system as possible, because if I have to do something manually,
Yeah.
then I'd rather do it as easy, as low effort as I possibly can.
Yeah, we don't want to move water with buckets.
Right. But I'm just saying, like, again, if we design it so that if everything is terrible and we're counting on this to survive, can we do it?
I kind of thought we would run them so it would ping pong. Bing, 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 bing.
Well, because of the slope,
Yeah.
if it overflows on this back end, it's going to fall down to the next one.
Yeah,
And then
I got you.
It'll fall down to the next one.
I got you.
So on and so forth down the hill.
Yeah, if they're dead level, they're all going to cascade at the same time.
They're all going to cascade at the same time. And the reason why I say that is if we design it like that so that it's easy to take care of, if, you know, we're back to, you know, the dark age, then that means taking care of it with high technology where we can flip a switch and pump water 1,000 feet. It's also easy.
Right, right.
That means I can just kind of drop one hose in there. I don't have to think about it.
Yeah, I get it. I build all my shit with DeWalt tools, and then the last couple nails I just hit with a hammer so people think I do it all by hand. Not really. I want to put, okay, so while I've got you, I want to put trees every other fence post down on that fence, right? So every other fence post about 10 feet back, I want to put a tree, the whole entire fence line. Is there a reason not to do that?
No,
Okay.
I can't think.
They probably wouldn't grow real great here because they're not getting the sun, right?
No.
I mean, this post grew pretty well.
Yeah, that post grew great.
That tree grows, but I would assume if I put like a peach tree right there, it's probably not getting a ton of sun. I mean, it's getting 7 o'clock to 1 probably.
Well, let's find out exactly.
What's that website?
This is called Sunseeker.
You told me about this before. And of course, you know, I don't have it on my phone.
So we can find out how much sun we're going to be getting. And for the most part, so we're worried about, so that blue line is the winter solstice. And the red line is the summer solstice.
That's where it's going to cook it, and that's where it's going to freeze it.
Right? And so this green line is the spring and fall equinox.
How you wish it was.
Right? And so what we want is we want sun basically from there to there, from the green to the red line. So we can see we've got clear open sky all afternoon. That means those fruit trees are going to be really happy. You're going to want to take that cedar out.
Because it's going to fuck everything up. I have not had my apples come in, right? I'm like, I'm going to get apples. And then something happens, yeah. They said I got to spray it for like rust or some shit.
Those are a vector for cedar apple rust.
Yeah, so they grow, if you haven't ever seen it, it grows octopuses. There's like this slime thing that you're like, how did they,
Orange.
like what in the world is this? Yeah, yeah. And then it cancers the tree. Like if you can still see them, they're like hard. They look like some kind of nut growing on the tree.
I'd probably go about 10, 12 feet. That'll give you enough room that you can still get a mower.
That's why, so yeah, I planted them heavy, and yeah, you can get a mower, but when they're under fruit loads, you can't get a mower there. So I mulch all this stuff, we wood chip it, right? But in the summer, it's just growing fucking grass. I clip it so it looks pretty. Is there a reason to even mow it? Like, should we even mess with it?
If you want it to look great, mow it. If you don't care about
The grass doesn't take away from the tree?
it will. I'd much rather see the grass excluded completely, but there's a lot of situations where you just can't do that.
Yeah.
It will compete with the trees. Like I said, there's lots of times where there's nothing you can do.
Okay.
You got Bermuda grass planted.
So we bought fastgrowingtrees.com. We bought all these expensive $120 fruit trees, right? And then we bought end of the season $15 clearance from Tractor Supply, Lowe's, and Home Depot and Walmart. The only trees still alive on the property are the cheap ass trees. So just stick with that.
I actually, as of now, I like Stark Brothers
Okay.
Especially for people that are not experts at planting and growing trees.
Oh, me. Like, you mean a dude that's not gonna take care of his trees?
Because they have a 1-year guarantee.
Bob's gonna be like, I thought you planted 50 trees here. Where you only have 10 left.
So as long as you leave the tags on them so you know exactly what it is, if it dies within the first year and you contact them within the first year,
Yeah, I'll never do that shit.
they'll replace them for free.
Yeah, no, I'm the best customer. I'm never using the warranty.
They actually have good trees.
Cool, okay.
And they do a good job. They will prune them for you ahead of time. So
Cool.
they actually sell good trees.
Best calorie producer on the property are those 2 fig trees over there, man. Like, I thought they were the first year, they died, snapped to the ground. I'm literally about to mow over them and I see this little piece of growth and I'm like, oh man, maybe it's not dead. And then every year it grows back bigger and bigger and bigger. We pull figs, I ride up on the 4-wheeler after everybody leaves. I eat as many figs as I can until I'm sick. And then I drive away and I'm like, I probably shouldn't have eaten all them figs. I couldn't have even told you what a fig was. I remember as a child, grandma had a big ass fig tree, but I don't know that I ever ate a fig off of that tree. And she had some kind of orange tree that had humongous thorns on it. I don't know what that was. So Osage orange, I guess people use those for hedgerows.
Yep.
They have thorns. Will those grow here?
Yes, they will.
Okay. And black locust, will that grow here?
That will, but don't plant it.
Because
Its thorns are the devil.
Okay.
You will not, you got a whole bunch of things with tires.
Okay.
And you will hate
Okay.
hate it.
Do they fall off of them or just because you're running over the wood?
The limbs will fall off.
Okay.
And they're hard to see. They're just long enough. They'll pierce your tires. And because they're hard to see, you won't even know it until
Okay.
after it's happened.
Now tell me how come I shouldn't plant bamboo and let it loose?
I'm not going to tell you shouldn't plant bamboo. I think
Okay.
you have a really good application for it.
Okay. Plant it on his property, not mine?
You will have it coming onto your property.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to keep up with mowing it or else it will.
We can mow it, burn it, chemically control it, or use goats. Will goats eat it? Okay. That's my whole move, right?
Buy some pandas.
I'm gonna grow enough that the zoo brings me one. Ling Ling, where you at?
Another great application for the bamboo are your dam walls.
Are my dam walls, okay.
Yep.
Don't
Never
cuss
put
at me.
Trees on your dam walls.
Okay.
You want bamboo on your dam walls.
No one wander off the dam tour. And please take all the damn pictures you want. Now, are there any damn questions?
Yeah, we're gonna get some damn bait.
Okay, how come?
The bamboo makes a great root net, and they'll just hang on to that soil. They won't let it erode. The trees will send big roots piercing through to get to the water,
Okay.
and then that'll leave a slight
Yeah.
film.
Yeah,
in between.
I can show you where the stream is running out of it right now.
And then the water goes through, and then as the tree moves and swells and shrinks
Yeah.
with the moon cycle and with the amount of water in its tissues, it'll leave bigger and smaller gaps. And you've seen what happens when you drive over a muddy spot, start hydraulically just like squishing that
Yeah, you
mud.
can't walk anywhere in those trees right now because it's pissing through there.
And it just turns it into slurry. It'll do the same thing along that route.
That's how tractors fall in the pond and we can't get them out.
Yep.
It was dirt when we drove over it the first time.
Uh-huh. So yeah, and the bamboo will outcompete a lot of those seedlings.
Can I plant it on the slope?
Absolutely. And it's actually great to have along roadways because they'll shade the roadway out and cut down on the dust.
Tell me how come I shouldn't let water hyacinth go in my ponds.
I have to, since you're recording this, I have to tell you, you can't let water hyacinth.
Okay, skip that part. I didn't know that. Prank call, prank call. Will it kill fish?
No.
Fish grow under it?
Yeah.
It'll just take over the whole entire surface.
It can.
You scoop it out, throw it on the ground, it dries, it's dead, and it doesn't come back? Does it put crumbs or any shit down? Really? Okay. I didn't.
Just delete it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You can scoop it out and throw it in a compost heap and make soil.
What else would a man like to have that he's not supposed to have?
Personally, I think Lemna minor duckweed is fantastic.
We can't have that either?
Most people hate it because it can be a problem on your pond.
So we have this thing called Asian carp.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a damn thing I can do that they're gonna give a shit that I did when the fucking whole fish, they're like out here, please kill these things. It has destroyed the fucking sport fishing around here.
A lot of people don't like it in their ponds because it's an eyesore. It can look like algae like scum
Yeah.
on your pond. But if you got a pond, like a pool net,
Yes.
you can scoop a whole bunch of that out. It's 30-something% protein. Ducks go nuts over it. Chickens love it. Pretty much any of those poultry will go nuts over it.
Okay.
And it's high protein. It reproduces in optimal conditions. In the summertime, you could take half of your pond surface off, and in 24 hours later, it's completely covered it again.
Okay. So it prevents algae from growing.
It will prevent algae from growing, and it'll suck a lot of the nutrients out of the water and clean the water.
That was my next question. How do I make that thing not look like a mud hole?
You're just gonna have to wait.
Yeah. Okay. What about a fountain or aeration?
That's just gonna make it more turbid and make it more muddy looking.
Okay. So I don't want a fountain. I really wanted that elephant that blew water in there though.
If you want it to be clearer water, you need to let it just set.
If you have duckweed in one pond, will it jump to another one?
If you have ducks moving between them, it'll stick to them, and then they'll swim off and they'll leave little bits.
What about just natural animals?
I've got it. Most of them won't transfer it, but I mean, wild ducks, heron.
How do all the fish get in my pond when I didn't put them there?
Ducks will crap.
It really is the birds?
Yep.
The eggs and stuff?
Herons will eat the fish, and then they'll crap out the eggs.
Okay, I thought it was off their feet.
Make it through their digestive system, and then they'll drop them in the water.
So if you're in Tennessee, if you guys don't know, if I dig a hole right here and we put water in it, in 15 minutes a turtle's gonna come here. Like, I don't know how they know it's there. When we were digging these ponds, before there was even water in the ponds, snapping turtles showed up. I don't know if we dug them up. I don't know where they came from, but like there's probably 20 snapping turtles. They just showed up. Like, we're taking them and driving them away and more turtles come. Like, they're just here. And when we put mulch down, man, turtles just love laying eggs in the mulch. Every time we take the mulch and move it, we dig up hundreds of eggs out of there.
Wow.
All the time.
That's cool.
Yeah.
On these contours, what do you do in between the rows? You mulch it,
I just leave it grass.
leave it, and mow it?
I cut grass like when shit gets tall. I use a hedge trimmer and I just come across and just scalp it like right at the dirt where I'm not going to run a mower through there. I just use a hedge trimmer and trim everything. Of the battery powered hedge trimmers, man.
Yep.
And you can fuck yourself up with a hedge trimmer if you're not careful. and they stop really fast when you hit wire. They won't cut wire.
Is there a specific type of bamboo that would be better for berm versus block it?
So there's two main types of bamboo. There's clumping and running. The running will just go everywhere.
Running is the one your neighbors are going to hate you for.
The running bamboo will just go and go and go and go.
Clumping typically builds a big circle as it goes.
And then
So clumping would be better for the berm,
So-
whereas running.
Oh,
okay.
well, again, it all just boils down to, are you going to spend $5 grand
Bamboo's expensive.
buying big clumps of bamboo and planting it all over the berm, or are you going to spend $50 to split up one clump of the running bamboo and just let it spread and cover it, and then as it spreads out to the point where you don't want it to spread anymore, you just kind of mow over top of it.
I like the panda, man. I'm with Bob.
I'm thinking of a corkscrew dog leash.
I like it. I like it. You can teach them tricks. You can get a koala bear. So for you guys that don't know, when I started looking at bamboo, there are lots of kinds of bamboo. There are 3 bamboo farms outside of Nashville. Some bamboo gets 1 inch around, some get 6 inch around. You can make pipes out of it and move water with it. Some will go over winter. Some get 60 feet tall, some gets 20 foot tall. Some of it's black, some of it's green like you're used to seeing. And I find the best place to get bamboo is go to the zoo, because they have lots of bamboo and you just kind of take some home with you and plant it. Not really, because that'd probably be wrong. But any preference on bamboo? Like, some of it'll grow so thick you can't walk through it.
Yeah.
And if you find old granny with a bunch of bamboo, she'll let you come out usually and dig it up. Like, people with bamboo will give it to you. You'll see people when you search bamboo on Marketplace or Craigslist, a lot of time they're not giving you live plants. And live plants, they're like 79 bucks a piece for a little, like they'll bring in a 5-6 foot piece of
All
bamboo.
over the place driving up in Florida.
Yeah.
Just on the side of the road, wild. That's
Yeah.
Probably running,
Most
running
of-
bamboo that has
Most
gone
of
wild.
that is actually called switch cane, Arundinaria tecta. That's like that southern native large grass.
It's all through Florida, right?
Yeah, Florida, Louisiana, that's what we
Cane grass, I think they call it, or something.
And that's a running bamboo. Well, it's not bambusa, it's a linden area. It's a giant grass. So it's not the normal bamboo. I would if I was picking one, I would just look, because there's so dang many of them and I can't remember all of them. I would look for an edible running bamboo that meets the height specs for what you want.
What's the difference between edible and not? I mean, I know what it is, but why are some not?
They're gonna have a more tender shoot.
Okay.
That's better for like a stir fry or something. So.
Okay.
It's just, if I have the option of growing something that's gonna serve a purpose.
Absolutely.
And be edible versus just serve a purpose and not be edible, I'd much rather include the thing that's edible, whether I want to eat it now or not.
Yeah.
Because it might be nice to just have it, you know, for some time when I want to stir fry and I want to.
Cool.
Be really authentic Asian. Cut a couple of them and slice them up, toss them in the stir fry.
Right. Awesome. Anything else you would recommend, or?
For over there, you're gonna want something that's not gonna get so tall it's gonna interfere with.
Yeah, power lines. They always want to come through. I'm like, if you spray my power lines, I'm going to burn your house down. Just come get me, and you can top the top of them. I don't care if you make them look stupid. I'll like you come in and cut them, or I'll cut them, whatever. But do not fucking spray those power lines. And they hire contractors. And you're like, what are you fucking doing? Leave the property while you can.
So that's probably what I do. I'd pick something that's gonna top out at about 8, 12 feet.
Okay,
just so,
good call.
Just so it's not close.
That pear tree I have over there, we're about to cut half that pear tree off because of the power line.
Again, the reason is, if it's not starting to cause a problem, it's not gonna be a squeaky wheel, it's not gonna get as much attention.
Right.
And they're just gonna, they're lazy. They don't want to spray it, but if it's getting too close.
The power coming on the property doesn't leave the property. It's only my problem if it's a problem.
Yeah.
It's not even their responsibility.
Well, but they're still going to do it.
Yes.
So
yes.
If we can keep it short enough that it's not going to be a problem.
Perfect, man. I did not have that idea in my head. I did not think about that.
And then, you know, if you want something taller because you just love the idea of, you know, crouching tiger, hidden dragon, you know, the timber bamboo, then you put some of that stuff like next to your pond so you can have a really cool badass.
So we can build ninja courses.
Right, right.
I learned the other day that if a dump truck turns over, it closes down the whole road. So we'll just turn dump trucks over. It puts an end to things for them.
Tomato trucks too.
Tomato truck? Oh, I'll bet. I'll bet. Or a pig truck. Where's he going? Parkour, come on.
Parkour.
Ninja. What's up, man?
I could make it over the fence. Not too bad.
You did pretty good, yeah. Yeah, I'll bet you're gonna get in the truck and take some Advil. I thought he was gonna go for it. I expected him to like hand flip off of there or something. Some gymnastics. Is this
wild onion?
Is it real onion?
It's like a green wild onion. It's more like a garlic almost.
Can you eat it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Chop it up. Use it like chives. Use it like green onions. They make little tiny bulbs.
Cool. Any questions?
As these berms go against the tree line, does he leave another 5-6 foot?
I just run it right up against your tree line. If you want to get more fodder trees in, you're probably gonna have plenty of room in here. Probably not even gonna come down this hill very much at all. The number of trees you got.
Yeah, it's not even gonna. It's gonna barely just. I'm gonna be like Nick. I got 4 rows.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm putting 1,600 trees in a quarter of an acre.
See, now you're
It's
making
like
me have to buy 1,700.
75. Yeah. Well, then next.
I'm gonna have the receipt that says 1,700. The trees won't ever get planted.
Year, I'm gonna be putting in 10,000.
Yeah.
And this area is like 75 foot by 125, 150 foot or something like that.
What
So
will that feed?
How big is this? How do you know how big this area is?
I'm saying the
Your area, okay.
My area.
How big is this one with your calibrated eye? I thought maybe you Google mapped it or something.
No, you're gonna have. I mean, that top part up there is a quarter of an acre. This down here is like maybe half. Yeah, this is probably about half an acre.
You can walk through right up there. You're welcome to stand there too. Or you can just parkour off that post right there. Why does the onion always grow here like this? It loves this place. Does it multiply every year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they divide.
I like these windblow pine trees, but I know I'm fucking my fence up by leaving them. This showed up 2 years ago. That vine showed up. Somebody said it was wild. I did the app thing on the phone and it said it was some kind of wild grape. And then this year, this one showed up and this one actually made grapes, but I feel like I should probably get rid of it and
you know what's cool though?
Put a real grape there.
Oh, you don't need to get rid of it. I'd take out the blackberry. You can actually come on to this rootstock right here and you can graft
Okay.
whatever,
Apple tree.
no, whatever
Grapes.
types of grapes
Okay.
you want on here. You can graft different muscadines. You could have
Okay.
2 different types of muscadine growing on the same thing.
What do we do with I have blackberry growing all over the place too. What do we do with that?
Feed it to goats.
Okay.
Most of the
I can
wild
eat I can eat a handful of blackberries if I have a gallon of ice cream, but I can't eat it otherwise.
It makes great wine, especially if you mix
Okay.
it with elderberry.
I don't have any elderberry. You mean what is it? What does it look like? You mean?
Yeah, I mean, what's the process? You just
Dude,
cut off.
they got a tool that'll do it.
Yeah, the tools are kind of crap, but basically you cut 2 pieces. Sometimes they're the exact same diameter, and you cut them so that they fit together, so that the cambium touches, and then the cambium will heal. It's like getting a cut on your arm or whatever. If you close that skin back, it'll heal together. The same thing happens with the cambium.
Tape it together or something?
Yep.
Yeah, you just put like some.
They make grafting
this
tape.
tape over it. Some of them
kinda
like
like
you cut a
wax.
slot even, and you'll cut a notch, and you'll have this other notch that goes in. Yeah. Some of them have like a W shape where you put them together. Full disclosure, I've only seen it on the internet. I've never done it. They got this other shit. You put some soil around a branch, you wrap it up,
It's called layering.
and then a couple months later or weeks later, it's growing some roots, and you can cut that off and plant it. I guess it depends on the plant though, right? Some won't do it.
Some won't layer, but a good many of them will. There's actually a really nice tool. It's a little expensive. It's like $300-400, and it's like pruning shears, but it's got a flat, almost like a razor blade, like
Yeah.
a disposable blade. And just because of its geometry, it lets you do. It's not a difficult graft called a whip and tongue, but for someone who's never done it, it's tough to get a whip and tongue right. But this tool makes it like that, so fast. And then you take your scion and you go snip, snip, and you stick them together, wrap your tape around it, done.
And that's how you get a fruit tree that has 5 different kinds of fruit on it.
Where you'll have like a peach and a nectarine and a plum on the same thing. It's got to stay in the same family, you know, can't have an apple and a cherry and a peach all in the same one, but you can have different stone fruits on one, 10 different apples on one rootstock.
Is there any animals he has right now that he needs to make sure that he stays away from the water trees, like the guinea dog, all of them? Or...
Guineas won't really bother them too much.
Guineas won't eat scrap, man. We throw shit out, they don't eat nothing.
You don't have sheep and goats anymore, right? Yeah, those are the only
And
ones
they
that
won't be up. They won't have deer. Will have access here.
Yeah.
But I think for the most part, the dogs will keep the deer out of here. And if need be, we'll just run wire around the outside. Put dogs there if we need
Will
to.
the dogs dig up those at the beginning, or
Probably not. Most dogs don't have too much interest in stuff like that. If they're really curious and really bored, and they like digging, then maybe. But
That asshole right there, he would pull every one of them up if he could get to it. Like he would unplant every one of them.
it's real dog dependent.
Yeah.
There's always one of them.
It's always your best one too.
Oh, those a-holes would definitely screw everything up.
Yeah, they
They
don't.
would murder all of those new plants.
Yeah, they can't get to them. I mean, I guess they could, but they won't get to them. I need to plant something here. This is a fucking slimy mess all the time.
I just get a little bit of mulch out there and some compost. Find some chicken houses around here
Yeah.
and get that composted chicken litter. Spread that out and throw out some stuff that'll grow fast.
Okay.
Especially during the summertime. Iron and clay cowpea is normally something that you'll be able to find pretty cheap in 50-pound sacks at a feed store.
Okay.
Any of those peas, black-eyed peas, purple hull peas, anything like that, if you can't find the field peas.
Okay.
Field peas, iron and clay peas, cow peas, those are all kind of the same name for the same thing. And the only reason why I say that is because you can get like a 50-pound sack for 20 bucks and buy 3 or 4 of those and throw them out, and they'll handle a lot of that really bad ground like that.
Perfect.
Because they'll fix their own nitrogen. But you get some good organic matter in there with some like
Roots.
or some manure, and that'll get that soil back a little bit healthier,
Okay.
where you can get roots established. That's the main thing, is that's just exposed subsoil from that
Awesome,
excavation.
man. Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
Man, I'm talking about realest, one of the realest to